As you guys heard yesterday, MPs are now getting a pay rise from next month, almost about 3% pay rise. And people are outraged, of course, rightly so, not just on behalf of other public workers, public sector workers who are not really getting pay rises, but also just in terms of the symbolism of why right now, where everybody else is experiencing hardship, members of parliament who were already on a really, really attractive package financially getting a pay rise. For the record, MPs are not giving themselves a pay rise. It's not Parliament doing it. It's IPSA, the independent body responsible, but not to defend it, because IPSA are giving them about 2.7%, so almost 3% pay rise, which will bring their salaries up to almost £85,000. On top of that, they get, as I said, the accommodation subsidies for London flats. They get the regular everyday expenses. They get a budget for the staff that they want to hire. And they say, the IPSA says, that, well, we have to make it attractive financially. So why? The role of an MP, member of parliament, the actual local representative, has been massively magnified and is turning into some sort of high status job. It's not a job. It's not a career job. It's supposed to be a role, a community role, and a part-time, of course, in terms of timing. They should be treated like a glorified local councillor. That's what it is. But we've given them so much status in terms of persona, then we're saying, well, we have to basically treat it like they are presidents or they are the kings and queens of the country. No, we don't want to actually do that, because the whole thing, we need to scale back. Stop glorifying Parliament and members of Parliament. You actually bring it back, make it more humble, and then people will have more respect, and MPs could actually feel even safer to hang around their communities if their status is not that high. IPSA are wrong. They are saying that MPs play a vital role in our democracy, and that is reflected in their pay. Those are two different things. Yes, it's vital for democracy, but what's that got to do with pay? Considering if the pay was £10,000 a year, I'll be like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's give them a bit more, but not the current salary that they have. The Richard Lloyd, who's the head of IPSA, says it is right that MPs are paid fairly for the responsibility and the unseen work they do helping their constituents, which dramatically increased last year. Okay, I'm not completely bashing MPs, but the majority of the work in terms of the constituents are done by their staffers, the parliamentary assistants, parliamentary researchers. That's the whole point, to kind of help them. Secondly, again, I'm not undermining the role of an MP, because people will say, oh, Maya, you're just sitting there, you're not an MP, you're complaining about MPs. It's still not rocket science. It's still... It's not rocket science. You don't have to have certain qualifications to be able to do it. If that's the case, then let's just agree that surgeons should get £1 million a year because of how vital the role is, but also the amount of work and the sensitivity of work. Maybe also spy agencies, all the intelligence officers, every single one of them should get about £5 million, because what the job they do is also tough. So you can't just compare. You can't bring fake compassion and empathy into it and say because of that they deserve more. No, they need to prove that they can firstly live on this massive salary that we're already giving them, and then actually provide real service. And then we could have a chat about the whole of the role of the MP in general, because right now it's been massively magnified. The status is so big, it should not be that high. They should be genuinely glorified local councillors. Why is it the role of a councillor is not really, nobody cares about councillors, do they? Whereas MPs, who actually have less power locally than a local councillor, are treated like kings and queens. That is disgusting. I'm going to come back with more news. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.